the economy boomed up. This was one of the sector which has contributed at a very large span in the Indian economy, the hospitality sector and the tours and travels. But for the previous 2 years, okay, it has been hit by because of the pandemic. Many of them they have winded up the businesses also. Only those who had the successful setup or had laid the foundations, they were able to sustain that too at a minimum level. And was dependent on the scenario. Basically, the government norms, rules, and the approach of consumers here. Even though the government today has opened up, but still it depends upon the consumer whether to avail the tours and travel facility or not. Unless and until it is mandatory, nobody would like to travel. Now it is opening and everybody is in a comfortable position. That's why we see again it's rising. But here, to mention one thing in terms of corporate, now what I am speaking of is with reference to maybe vacations. Okay, what I am speaking of is with reference to vacations, but with reference to medical tourism or corporate travel. Okay, here there is no option, but the people they have to go ahead. India is also one of the attractive destination for medical tourism. If you see many of the people from the foreign nations, every year they fly to India to seek the health benefits. That is the one reason. Second thing is it is very cheap or inexpensive in India. If you see, one thing is the skill or the expertise which the Indian doctors they bank upon. Second thing is the pricing strategy of the Indian hospitality sector, the healthcare sector, where the prices are very low. So here, if we take the three categories, mostly out of three categories, the first, that is the usually the outings or the entertainment part, the vacation part, it suffered a lot. The other two were also restricted because government had controlled it. As government released it, okay, people started moving. Now here, as far as the medical emergency is considered, it was just they were waiting for the government to open up, because here it is a do or die situation in many things, or maybe after certain limit one cannot think of delaying the maybe surgery or operatives in terms of medical tourism. As far as the corporate travel is considered, already the businesses are hit due to pandemic, and now they don't want to suffer more. That's why again, before the first segment, the other two segments they started initiating. Now this is just the overall scenario, nothing to do much with the theoretical part of digital business as such. But there is a gap in between what it was and what it is. Few of them they localized, the small startups they have winded up. So now, how the tours and travel operators they have included this IT part. Now many of you are aware of the websites also. You directly go to that website, you log in, or maybe you want to search something, you will get very easily the information very handy. So when the companies think of e-commerce implementation or the IT implementation in their tours and travel businesses, we say it is online travel and tourism. So this is the basic differentiation. We have many tours and travels operators in India, but there are very few those who use this IT platforms to reach the end customers. Now, the basic requirement again for this is that a person should be well versed with the IT part, internet, how to log in or maybe enter, how to search, which is very easy nowadays. But still, there are masses where people they are not comfortable using the internet to move ahead with this packages. They would like to still visit the retail outlet or just give a call. A person visits and convinces. Now, why a person visits? Because of the competition. As the profits started pouring up, uh, there were more entry of competitors. Also, there are many online portals. They are just they just bridge the gap between the customers and the service providers. Like we have Amazon. Similarly, here also on the online portal, they have all the services. They are linked with other service providers, and here they just offer the customers. That is, they build the gap between the customer and the service provider. That is what they do, and in return they get the commissions. Here they are offering the customers whatever they want, maybe with reference to transportation facility, or maybe with reference to staying facility if they want to stay anywhere. So that is made available. And against this, for the service providers easily get the customers. So this is what they do on the behalf of both the parties. So they act as a, in our physical scenario, they act as an agent, you can say. These are all the online agents or online providers who build the gap between both the entities. Now, what are the services included? It's better, instead of I speaking, let's go on the portal and have a look of these different websites. So I will discuss it later. What are the benefits of online tourism? Now, one thing, 24/7, the internet facility is available. You can log in anytime from any place. So here there is no problem with reference to the visiting hours like we have. Maybe at 11 or 12, I want to book a ticket. Previously, when there was no internet, the person has to visit the places. They used to visit the reservation counters, but today that is not the scenario. Maybe anytime you can book your tickets. Suppose if you are not aware about specific place, you want to find something, it is easily possible today. You just type that, maybe accommodation for a facility or something. You get many options, and based upon again the reviews and ratings, here you decide. Or the tour and travel operator takes the responsibility onus of providing you whatever you want. In that case, the risk or the safety lies on that service provider and not upon the customer. In some cases where the customer is given the option and the customer has to make a choice, the risk lies on the customer, because the customer is choosing and he doesn't have any knowledge of the background. But where the packages are offered by tour and traveler, the operators here, they take the risk, they bear the risk on the behalf of customers. And it is their responsibility to see to it that the customer gets satisfied as far as these attributes are considered. Not with reference to maybe satisfaction, with reference to services, but with reference to security and risk involved into it. Now, any doubts here? Coming to the next part of the benefits, it becomes very easy to tap the customers. Many of them, they give the discounts when you use. They have the types with the credit card providers. They have the types with the bank. So if you are using the card of that specific company, maybe credit card or maybe debit card for that company, you get some 10% off or 20% off. That benefit can be availed by the customer. Next, if you have the group bookings, they allow the discount. A particular time frame where the company promotes, maybe the first few of them, those who book ahead of that particular date, they get some discounts here. They can avail the same packages at a very low cost or the less cost. So these are all the promotions which the company undertakes, and here the customer gets the benefit. They get it at a low price. Now, all of the bundle of services are included in a single package. So the customer gets everything in a under just one umbrella. It depends upon the mix of what the customer has to make a choice. Yes. So these are some of the benefits. Now coming to the limitations. Again, the portability is one of the benefits. Maybe today, because of the smartphone penetration, a person can just take the smartphone. It is portable from anywhere. You can book the ticket, or maybe you can just think of making yourself aware by searching for the particular information. If you want to just get the knowledge or get the information, seek the information about any of the destinations, it becomes very easy. Now the limitation is again the network facility. You should have the interface between the service provider and you. Otherwise, if this bridge is not there, then you are left out. So that is one of the limitations. Other limitation here is whatever is offered, you have to bank upon it. What do you mean by this? Whatever is offered, you have to bank upon it. Maybe this is the difference between the online and the maybe the offline. When a person visits, okay, he has the know-how of the office. He visits that office. He speaks with the people there. He knows who are the people. So here, the empathy or trust or faith. Okay, when the person speaks directly, that empathy he seeks, or maybe he gets the trust, mutual trust and faith is gained very easily. But here in online, there is always a doubt in the minds of the customer, though he books and everything. Why you are late? So here there is scope of doubt somewhere. That's yes.
Lack of physical and emotional touch.
Yes, lack of, you see, when the person is speaking, I easily get convinced. And that's why companies, they spend hugely on the personal selling part, where the people, they go and convince, specifically for the technology-driven products where the demonstration part is considered. If I only, even on online, they have the videos. The media becomes much more stronger. There are videos, they show the product, but still the feel is missing. Similarly here, already the services are intangible. You cannot say that just take 10 rupees, let me have a ride. Can we say that? Let me just sit in the flight, have a ride, and then I decide whether I would like to book the ticket. Is it possible? No, that's not the case. Here, whatever is shown, you believe somewhere. There is no option. And that's why, if you see for the services sector in tours and travel, what they are showcasing, visualization. Maybe they will show you the flight, okay, the interiors, or maybe they will show you the glimpse of the destinations. Maybe if you would like to visit a particular nation, particular country, the famous things which are there with reference to that nation or country, they are portrayed on the portal. Now what they are doing here, since services are intangible, they would like to just showcase you, show you what all is available in that bundle of service or the package. But here one cannot bank, as in case of durable. Okay, if you want to purchase any durable, even if you take automobile, what you will do? If you want to purchase an automobile, you will go to the showroom. First and foremost, you will seek the information from the sales people. Then next, what is the thing for which you eagerly wait? Only whether you are satisfied only just seeking the information. You want to purchase. Okay, you have made up a mind. It is not just the research where you visit. Then what is the next thing which is awaited? Test drive. You would like to sit. You would like to just have the feel. The color is visible, fine, but still you would like to have the feel by sitting, by driving. Then you understand, no? Then only a person gets satisfied. But here, that is not the case. That is not possible, and hence more effort are taken by these service providers. Any of the services, irrespective of travel or tourism. Any service provider will think of bridging the gap, reaching the customers in a numerous ways. This is a sector where there is huge competition, where there are many competitors, and everybody would like to grab the market share, and hence they come up with the different promotional strategies to sustain in the market as well as to grab the market share. Now, practical aspect we will take afterwards. Let's move ahead. Now, coming to the next part, that is with reference to online job market. Previously, there were the print media, which was much famous. Even today, it has its market share. If anybody wants to choose the career or anybody wants to seek a job, the first thing what they used to do, just take out the paper, employment news, or any of the daily newspapers where they have mentioned a specific day where you get the advertisements with reference to jobs. A person used to have a look and just map himself with the requirements of the job. But today that's not the case. Because of this internet, we have today many online portals available. Here again there are two options. The companies, the service providers like Naukri.com or Monster.com, where they act as an interface between the employer and the potential employees, we can say, those who would like to seek the job. So it bridges the gap between both the parties. Here, when you visit the portal, you will see that there are certain tabs where a person should brief about what he is searching for. And at the same time, even the employer should provide the details what they are looking for in a candidate, maybe with reference to some experience or with reference to expertise, the technicalities, the skills. This is one option. Second option, the employer themselves, they can have the portals on the website. Now, previously, this trend was not observed, that they have the portal on their own website, they will have this portal. But today, if you see many of the companies, maximum of the companies, they feel that they should have their own portal on their website, which again cuts out this intermediary. So directly, one can think of logging in on the company website and try to just apply for the appropriate jobs. So both of the scenarios, they work. But here for the second option, how the job seekers will come to know whether the jobs are available. So this is one of the important things which gets missed out. Those companies, those who have the portal on their company website, how the people or the masses will come to know. So maybe through a common advertisement. They just think of once or twice coming up with the advertisement, maybe in the print, any type of print media, so that the people are aware. Once the masses are aware, then it becomes a routine. The people try to visit the company website and just click it and check whether they have any options available with reference to these careers. So this trend is nowadays, it is increasing. But in spite of this, do you find that there are more advertisements in the newspapers? Yes or no? What does that signify? What does that mean? Later Times of India absent रहता है. Yes or no? So what does that mean then? What does this signify? That still in India, it's a long way to go when it comes to online employment or e-employment. The penetration level of internet has to be more. It has to penetrate more. A day will come when you will find that in the newspaper, you will not find any of the advertisements. When this is possible, when the masters will think of opting for more e-solutions or e-options, internet would be the means, the technology would be the only means where people will think of opting only for that. Today, in spite of so much media hype, we do have the print versions available. There are many newspapers. Maybe today we have that segment. Down the line, after 10 years, 20 years, it may come down. Already it is coming down. Whether you read newspapers, पढ़ते हैं न्यूज़पेपर्स आप? हाँ ना, क्यों नहीं पढ़ते हो?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the reason? Yes. क्यों नहीं पढ़ते हो? पढ़ना आता है आपको? हाँ? You know how to read. You are not illiterate. Like there are some people, those who cannot read, they are illiterate. What about you? Some answers. Yes. So maybe कितने लोग सारे देखते हैं न्यूज़? हाँ? Yes? No? देखते हैं? मैं नहीं देखती हूँ. क्यों नहीं देखती हूँ? मैं न्यूज़पेपर भी नहीं रीड करती हूँ. Yes, on the phone you get easy updates. कुछ भी हुआ है. See the headlines. What are the headlines? Those are catchy, those are attractive, and those are important. That's why we say headlines. If every now and then in your mobile things are popping up, हाँ ये हो गया, वो हो गया. Does this happen? जरूरत है. हाँ, those who are keen, मुझे सारा news चाहिए. I am fond of reading, or maybe I have a habit. Even you, though today the media is very strong, but still I would recommend that please read at least one newspaper. The detailing, you get the detailed knowledge of it, what is happening in the world. Now, why people are not reading? It's not I wanted to criticize you, but because the scene has changed today. If just I have a newspaper, if I tell my daughter, read the newspaper, it is there. She says, why? Why should I read it? I get the news, see it. I know what's going on. So there is no need. Okay. So, but what is the objective? You want to improve your reading? No. What is the objective? That you should be aware of what is happening, what is going on. The objective is served. If you understand, the objective is served. If you get the information, the objective is served, isn't it? So when I have a smartphone or the Google Baba, very famous, just I type, I get everything, the update. Okay, or maybe you just go home, you just put on the television and you get the information. So this is the approach. So when I asked you the question why you are not reading, the expectation was maybe, ma'am, I have a smartphone, every now and then I just check, I get the pop-up. Simple it was. So understand that even here also, okay, many of the youth, many of them, those who do not think from the approach of e-employment, they will just wait for the newspaper. Eagerly they will visit. They will just take the newspaper and read it. Now here, maybe other person who is very much techno-savvy, what the person will do? The person will not wait for the newspaper. He will just visit the online portal. He will register with the e-employment companies, those who provide online employment. He will just register on that, or maybe he will visit the companies. A person who is interested to do a job, okay, he knows his specialized skills, the work area where he wants to work. Maybe sometimes you also define the company many a times. Like you will be completing your MBAs, you will be having your specializations. You would like to work in HR, you would like to work in marketing, in production, in IT. business analytics, any of the specialization. So you will be searching for your core part only. Many times you map these with the companies also. Whether you will apply to such a company, this गाँव जाना ही नहीं है वहाँ पे. No. So here what you are doing, when you yourself register on these portals, you will try to map with your needs and the needs of the employer. And then only you will apply. That is one thing. Second thing, because of the more penetration of social networks popular, like you have a LinkedIn, more professional approach, okay, or you have the Facebook. Facebook, we cannot say that much professional. So here you have to understand where you would like to search the map. Through Facebook also, today one can think of seeking the job, and this trend is day by day it's increasing. Many of the employers are going for virtual job fairs and recruiting events, like you have the e-placements, maybe the drive for the students in a particular college, maybe any of the engineering college, management college, the company gives a specific time where the students are there, they have to give the online interviews, and there would be managers who would be assessing them or evaluating them. So these are the virtual job fairs. This is one approach. Second thing, maybe more than one employer, they come together. Now, who does this virtual job fairs? Whether the companies they take it? No. So here, companies are a part of this virtual job fair. We do have the fairs and exhibitions, like we have for real estate, Tridai, isn't it? Under a single umbrella, you have many brands. All of the builders are there to promote their products. Similarly, here also, there is an interface or the service provider. What he does, he just collaborates the employers, those who are looking out for the potential candidates. They are clubs, and an event is organized or a virtual job fair is organized, and the service provider promotes this occasion, this event. This virtual fair is promoted. Now here they may think of coming up with the common print advertisements, or they visit the colleges. They can think of just dropping the pamphlets or visiting personally to some of the colleges where they would convey the information with reference to this virtual job fair. And they try to bring both of them on the common platform. So it becomes easy for the job seekers also, and it becomes very much convenient for the companies also, because companies, they already have specified the requirements or the job profiles what they need, and here the job seekers, they also are well versed with the companies. They understand which are the companies, what is the profile, if they want to apply, if they want to seek the job. So here they understand if the company and your role, whether it fits, then it is okay. Otherwise, no, I would be not attending the interview here. Maybe better the other students, they try. So it becomes much more easier to map yourself here for the candidates, because they know what are their skills, they know what are their strengths and weaknesses, and based upon this, it gives an easy platform for both the parties to come together. Now coming to the benefits and limitations. Benefits, here nobody has to pay. The companies, they do have to pay. But about job seekers or the colleges, they just have to arrange the particular time. They have to see to it that the candidates are made available. That is one of the benefits. From the company side, if they are going to place it in through the print media, it would be very costly for them, because the cost involved is much high in terms of print media. So if it is through this virtual fair or online, it's less expensive. They need to just pay to the intermediary. The person who is conducting the virtual job fair, they need to just pay to them, and it won't be that expensive. Again, here many a times it happens for the employers when we give the ad, they have specified the job roles, they have specified the experience, but in spite of this, they get the candidates who do not fit into this criteria. So there is wastage of time also from their side. But when one thinks of moving ahead with the virtual job fair, here already the job seekers are those where they have a specified the particular profile or the roles which the company is expecting. So maybe here the companies do get those masses, those job seekers where the profile matches to the maximum limit. So here the choice becomes much more simpler and easier. There, when it is print media, you don't know how many people are coming. Many times it becomes very much messy also, and it becomes difficult to control. Each and every person comes from a different background. So here, most of the time is wasted. Here, maybe when the things are much more specific, you get the candidates of the particular profile which you are looking for, and here you need to make just the choice. Out of 10, 20, 50 candidates, it becomes very easy to just pick up some students. And also whatever, suppose if it is for the engineering, if the company is looking for the technical background students, the freshers, here only those students from the BE background with reference to that specific specialization would be attending the interviews. So here they can just pick up the cream also many a times. It depends upon again the company whether the candidate is willing to work. But here they can pick up the cream out of the masses. The limitation here is like just now I said, wastage of time is there. Okay, but when you enter into the masses, the print media, suppose if you have the Times of India or any paper which targets the nation, okay, just imagine how many people would be applying for the job from the corners of the world. Here also, as far as the e-employment part is considered, that is also a possibility that anybody from the globe, they can apply. But reaching to that particular target becomes a bit difficult for the companies. Maybe when you place an advertisement in some newspaper which reaches to that target segment, then only the person comes to know that there is a vacancy, there are interviews, and then they attend the interview. So out of broad base, okay, so this is the other angle. First angle, maybe there are many people required, not required, everything they will apply, and you have to scrutinize each and everybody. There is wastage of the time. But at the same time, when the company is wasting time, they get the best candidature. There is no scope limited here. As more people are focused, all of them are invited, though the company takes time, but the company gets the best out of it. So these are the pros and cons of the e-employment or electronic job market. Again, those who are not well versed with the technical aspects, there is a limitation. Many a time, still, in spite of penetration of IT, still people they don't know. Leave about employment. Take an example of just the filling of some forms. Online, just form filling. Exactly what they have asked. That is the problem. If they have specified something, the candidate doesn't know what exactly has to be clicked upon, what exactly they are asking. Does this happen? Recruitment is an other aspect or next step. But when it comes to filling of the forms with reference to that specific activity, even most of the people, though they are educated, though they are graduates, still they don't understand what exactly is the requirement, what is to be filled, and they have to call the particular person. It happens. Your scholarship forms, many a time Sachin sir gets irritated also. That is so simple, but see, because why these things happen? Because we are not used to, we are not habitual to that, and that's why we just want to confirm. It's not that we don't understand. It's because there is a fear that since we don't have the knowledge. So similarly here also, many of the candidates they have that fear factor because they have maybe not applied, they have not done this task, and that's why they don't move ahead. Or that is one thing which is holding back, and they are more comfortable for the walk-in interviews. Directly you take the resume, you go walk in, you meet the person, yes, no, whatever it is there. Many of them still they fear when they have the interviews through the video conferencing or through the online mode. So here, most of them they are not that comfortable also. So this virtual mode, they are not ready for the interviews. While there is also a segment, those who are more comfortable through the online mode, they are not comfortable physically visiting the places for the interview. Now we are moving ahead. Now these are just the applications. I am giving you a glimpse of this. Now after that, let me check whether in the laboratory can in the there or here itself. We will just have a look through the online portal. Now e-health, electronic health, this e-commerce, or we can say the IT has penetrated into many of the fields, many of the services. So even it has entered the healthcare sector. Now, when I say that medical tourism, okay, India is one of the favored destinations for medical tourism. How do the people know about the hospitals in India, about the availability of particular services in India? By visiting the portals. Hospitals, they do have their own websites. They have the details. Suppose you want to take an appointment, you can, with the help of just logging in on the portal, maybe you give a call, you get the appointments, you come to know when are the visiting days for which doctor. So this is what is e-health. When the health services are provided with the help of IT, it is the e-health. So the electronic commerce or the internet facility, when it enters or intervenes the medical services, it is e-health. E-health facilities are provided to the customers. Now, availability of beds during corona period, whether the beds are available. So visit the online portal, easily you will come to know whether the doctor is available, whether the beds are available, what are the services provided. Now, when especially in terms of people coming from abroad for the sake of seeking the healthcare facilities, basically they, wherever they have the critical ailments, they only will visit. Otherwise, people don't think of visiting a foreign nation. Maybe if it is with reference to some operative, maybe it's a transplant. So here, the medical situation demands that the travel frame has to be managed. This online portal is one of the options where the doctors there or the patients check the online portal so that they can make the reservations or booking to visit India accordingly. And that too, in which of the hospitals the particular medical facility is available at that particular time. They gain an insight and then only they avail the facilities. Otherwise, there is no point coming 15, 20 days. They just come in India that we have come here for the medical facility. They just wait here and then they come to know that maybe the doctor is not available. He has gone to US for next 1 month. He has assignments, or the other patient, maybe for the transplant, the other patient is not available. So this should not happen, and that's why we take the help of this online portal to seek the healthcare facilities or services. Today, many of the medical health records are maintained in the electronic form. Previously, we used to have the files. Even today, if you visit some of the hospitals, you will find the files of files lying. Today, that's not the case. Today, through the electronic mode, they can think of just having the reports, medical records in their own system. The database is maintained with the doctors. The database is maintained with the hospitals. Today, when you visit a doctor, maybe the person has a PC, the receptionist. Just previously, we used to have the papers, isn't it? To check the records. Now, that's not the case. Maybe on the PCs, the data is stored. Why the data is stored? Maybe when the patient visits next time, you need to know the history of the patient. So every time the doctors, they cannot remember. Even still today, in spite of having your PCs, many of the things, they are recorded on the paper with the help of pen and paper. If you visit some of the doctors, okay, they don't believe in this machine part. They stick to that pen and paper part. So many of them, they just say, what was the number of your case paper? Does this happen? If you go to rural areas, even there also, you will find that they don't believe. Because the limitation is, if the system crashes, all the data is gone. So here with the precautionary measures, the companies think of pooling or placing a large amount of data in their database as far as the medical records or health records of the patients are considered. If you take of all the multi-specialty hospitals today, these hospitals, they have their own ERP packages. They have software packages so that it facilitates the medical services to the customers. At an easy go, they come to know the lot of pool of information. Suppose if you visit any multi-specialty hospital, you want to know where the patient is there. You don't know. You are visiting your friend or any of the relatives. Okay, those who are admitted. You don't know where he is admitted. You just know the name of the person. You go on the reception counter, you ask for it, and you get it, the information. What the person does, just check the record. They also don't remember because it's a very big hospital. There are many patients. They will just see, enter the PC, search for the name, and they get it. You get the information, isn't it? Similarly, for the doctor's record also, because the doctors, they are frequent travelers. Many of them, they practice in India. Many of them, they go abroad. Especially if you see Pune. Pune is one of the destinations as far as this medical tourism is considered. We have many multi-specialty hospitals, and where many foreign people or foreign patients, they visit to avail the healthcare facilities in India, in Pune, sorry. Similarly, about the medical devices. Medical devices, maintenance of this equipment or the machinery, even the healthcare sector, they require medicines, medicinal equipment, they require the systems, they require the machinery. So many of them, they have their own software solutions on which they are run. They have their own systems, these devices. So more the intervention of the IT with reference to different equipment or the services, more it becomes much more convenient for these doctors and the employees, those who are providing the services to the patient. It becomes very easy. It does not consume much time. Patient surveillance is also possible. Patient surveillance, keeping a track record of
the detailed information of the patients. Every time it becomes difficult to write and keep the records. The files are just piled up with papers. So today, that's not the case. Maybe whenever the patients visits the hospital, you easily have the track record of the patients. Today, IT has played a very revolutionary role in healthcare also. One can think of many facilities available with reference to this. Suppose the patient is in India and the doctor is in US. The doctor knows the case of the patient, and there are some emergencies, some operations which has to be performed on that person. Maybe through video conferencing today it is possible. Maybe the other hands-on experience doctor can operate and the other person can just guide by just visualizing video conferencing. Similarly, take a simple example of dentistry. Here, through the cameras, they get to know what is happening. They will just show you the records, the scan of any of the parts, anything in our body. If there is any problem, they get to know what it is, inside what it is there. So, with the help of the video, it has become so simple. IT has played a very significant role in our day-to-day functioning as far as the medical arena or medical field is concerned. Okay. It has many aspects. I don't go into the details of the services because it ranges from a simple service like visiting the OPD to the specialist. So there are many fields, and each and every field, the IT has its own significance. If you say OPD, just maintaining the database. It's a simple, maybe a hospital, a very small clinic, and day-to-day basis, it is just maintaining the records of the patients. That is one extreme. Other extreme is a very huge multi-specialty hospital where it has many departments, many specialized tasks, where there are subdivisions who are performing right from services. The people working there, people is one of the important aspects as far as healthcare is considered. Whose duty is done as they have the shifts. They are working 24/7, isn't it? The people, not the doctors I am speaking, but the others, the attendants, the laboratory staff, the nurses, the sisters, all are working and they change the shifts. So again, it becomes difficult to maintain this HR part. The infrastructure, the maintenance of equipment also plays a significant role, even the temperature maintenance. Every now and then one has to take care, and that's why I say that here it is very broad spectrum, right from controlling the machinery to the arrangement of shift duties of people. Everything can be managed with the help of maybe ERP softwares, or maybe different programs are formulated or purchased by the hospitals, so that their day-to-day functioning becomes much more convenient. Any doubts here? Further applications. Just if you log in on any of the portals, maybe may make my trip or the other. Okay, you come to know about the services which they provide. Have a look at the services which it provides. A simple example, because I was just saying in the tabs what these services or the packages which are available. If you see here, what all are the services? That is the transportation. So it depends upon the consumer or the customer. It is his choice whether to avail for the flights, avail for the buses or cabs or maybe railway tickets. Okay, the options is given. It depends upon the person what options he wants. Similarly, you have hotels. There are options. There are hotels also. There are villas or stays also, or even home stays are provided. So here the people they are not aware. Suppose we want to visit any of the place where you have no know-how. So you have to tell the type of people. And what about the reliability? Reliability of these companies. How do you check the reliability, whether they are reliable? Directly tomorrow, if you give a review, suppose if you are satisfied today, it's a trend that people give the review of how satisfied they are. Once they experience, suppose you use yatra.com for booking tickets, for visiting, for traveling, you are satisfied. Immediately a person, okay, they enter those who have the accounts on the social media networking websites. Okay, that I went on this platform, I booked and it is really good. 1 star, 2 star, okay. Ratings are provided. So here these companies have to be on course. They have competitors. So they cannot afford to make mistakes or they cannot think of having the dissatisfied customers. And hence the detailings are made available. Right from the visas, everything is there into the bundle of services which they are offering. This is all possible because of internet. So on a common portal, they think of having different types of services made available to the customers. Now it is up to the customer. The bundle is available. Do you want transportation? Do you want homestay? Do you want hotels? Do you want to go for flights or go by trains? It depends upon the customer and their affordability. Again, if you see, I gave you the part of experience or visualization. If you see, what is this? Germany, UK, or they may be having different offers also here. Some discounts they again. Those who are the frequent visitors, they just have their accounts here. See how attractive you make the web page and how you portray yourself, your services. It depends upon the business provider or the solution provider. Suppose tomorrow, if you are an owner, or maybe tomorrow you want to design, as we are studying the digital business part. So how you use this platform to reach the customers? Examples. How you differentiate from the competitors. I went to yatra.com, make my trip, or maybe there are other competitors. So how can you think of attracting the customers? It's not an easy task in this competitive world. So the customer vendors, the customer is also today much more clever. The customer is also more smarter today. Here I have Yatra. Second time I open, make my trip. Third one more. I will compare. What is offered by whom? If I get convinced, I will move ahead. Otherwise, I will stop. Close the tabs. If whatever I am searching, it's not available, isn't it? So here, how you portray or how you design your web page and focus the services.